What's up, everybody? Welcome back to another episode of All Things Super. I am one of your hosts, Spider, joined by Mr. VIP, Frankie Washington. How are you doing today, sir?
I am infinitely awesome. Thank you for asking. How are you, sir? I got jazzy on him.
I see
got
that.
jazzy on him.
We're about to do some jazz hands, some snapping down the street.
Well, it's all poetry, baby. It's all poetry. Go ahead and give it up for all things super. All right now. All right. All right. All right.
Bring out the bongos.
What? What?
You've never been to like a what do they call them? Like spoken word performance?
A poetry slam.
Yeah, one of those things.
Okay.
Let the boys be boys. No, but they had like the bongos.
Oh man, you talking about the deep down? I'm trying to get my hell off. Deep down.
Yeah.
Paying bills is not real. You only paying to survive and get a meal. You did.
Exactly.
Yeah, that one. Yeah, I like that.
Oh, but if you didn't know, this is All Things Super, where every week we don't talk about poetry slams. That's not what this show is about. So if you came for the poetry, I'm sorry. You got some rhymes at the beginning of the show, but that's an exclusive. So if you came for that, you're welcome. You just got treated.
You're welcome. There you go.
But every week
we are not selfish here. We're always giving.
Oh, always. But every week we take a piece of superpowered TV, movie, or a trailer. We react to it, we break it down, we review it, we talk about it, and we answer the question, is it super?
Is it?
Is it?
Is
but
it?
If you like that, you can go ahead and subscribe to the channel, hit the bell to be notified when we are having new videos released on the channel. But also, if you want to join in on the conversation, you can tweet at us at ATSuperPod.
Huh. Spider.
Yo.
It's She-Hulk Day.
It is She-Hulk Day. This episode is not brought to you by She-Hulk, but this episode we will be reviewing. If we were brought to you by She-Hulk, I'd be like, you know what? This is a She-Hulk podcast now. The only thing, anything and everything we're going to talk about is She-Hulk. But no, we're not brought to you by She-Hulk, but we will be reviewing episode 4 of She-Hulk, Attorney at Law. I'm looking for the name of the episode. That's why I paused.
What?
I was looking for the title of the episode.
Oh, that's what I said it was good. Yeah, right. I wouldn't have titled it that. I would have titled it something like because there was a lot of
I don't know how you could get that spelled out on the screen. But the title of this episode is this not real magic? I
mean, there was magic that happened.
There was a lot of magic that happened. This was a very magic heavy episode.
Wait. I tried my best to do this so many times before, not to spoil the show for you guys. If you haven't seen She-Hulk episode 4, you might want to go in and take a look at that, because you know when you come here, you know what we do. In 3, 2, 1. I did it soft like that because I'm thinking that they doing it with me. I would hope you guys are doing it with me.
If they're doing it, then they're doing it loud too. So you got to be loud with them.
I want to hear it. I want to hear it through my imagination. Okay, so there
we go. Rest in peace,
for those who haven't watched She-Hulk episode 4 on Disney Plus, go do that right now, and then come back and get with us, and we can talk about it. If you are still here, that means you like us. Thank you. So let's get into She-Hulk episode 4. Jennifer Walters, the She-Hulk. What? She made a right swipe on Tinder and she was saying, let's get it.
No, not Tinder. What? Matcher.
Oh well,
Listen,
sorry.
we don't want to get brand
Smash.
names wrong.
Okay. I had a if I had an eyeball in here. All right, so She-Hulk is smashing, and it was very disappointing. Not to say that she was smashing, it was disappointing that the guy kind of was like, "I'm out of here" once she turned back into Jennifer Walters,
Right.
because damn, that's gotta bruise the ego. And I think she was really liking this guy too. Will we see him again? Is he gonna show back up? Kind of,
I don't
she's
think
still a
so.
She-Hulk.
I don't think
I
so.
think she, I think she may be over him at this point.
Mm-hmm.
Didn't she cook? Didn't she cook breakfast?
Yeah, she made a whole like 3-course breakfast with freshly
Dude, how you
squeezed
gonna?
orange juice. Freshly
That's
squeezed orange
crazy.
juice.
So disrespectful this dude is. Like, how you just go smash and dash on She-Hulk?
Right.
You don't smash and dash. You just smash like a Hulk does. Anyway, bottom line is that's not all was going on in the episode, but that was my favorite part because again, what defines these no seriously, what defines these heroes is the stuff that they do when they're not saving people. We
Right.
want to know what their story is like. What's their what are they into? And this job does a great depiction of telling the story of exactly what's going on. We get episodic shows now, Spider. We got Wong. He's back. And we
Again.
thought he wouldn't be, yeah, we thought he wasn't even going to be in it. We thought he was hiding from the law. But Wong is back because Donnie Blaze, I know what it sounds like. Get ready.
No connection to Johnny Blaze.
No connection, no relation. Donnie Blaze, which we learned it was a former
The former student.
sorcerer
Yeah.
student who did he steal the sling ring? I would think somewhere like Comatage
Yeah,
would
I
have
think
strict policies
yeah.
on bringing the sling ring back.
Like, look,
if
you got a
were
whole
kicked out.
checkout process. We got to make sure we take your rolls. We got to take your sling ring. Make sure
Right?
you give us your paper with the Wi-Fi password because we got to change it.
Yeah, you see Mortal gave it to Strange, right? So here's the thing. Here's the thing. There's nobody that property is for Comatage. Like
Mm-hmm.
I can't see how they would let him. So maybe he stole that sling ring. He looks like he might, have sticky fingers because he's not a very successful magician. And his audience, again, if you're living in the 616, you done seen how many alien invasions now? If you're lucky enough to see a demigod comes to, all this stuff on Iron Man Save the Universe, Captain Marvel's in the 90s.
So here's what I'll say, because we're in LA now. So you have some people, because the majority of the world-ending events have been happening in New York or DC, all on the East Coast. So the West Coast hasn't really saw too much of disasters. So
Marvel like to have a lot of their stuff happen in New York.
Right. So maybe people in Cali, they're a little still, enamored by magic. They're still like surprised by it, but they still know a good magician when they see one, because these people are not they are not surprised by anything that Donnie Blaze is doing.
Not at all. Until he pulls that sling ring out. It's nice sling ring. And he starts to sling that thing around and create a portal. Now, it's no secret. You can look into this portal and you can see, well, go ahead. Hellfire and brimstone?
And skulls on spikes.
You're thinking, what is he about to do with this portal and this young drunk girl? Because she was wasted.
She's
wasted.
Madison with 2 N's and a Y, but it's not what you think.
But not what you think. Killed it. It's not what you think, and it honestly was exactly where I thought it was. So it was funny to me. So she goes to the portal, and we get her again right in Wong's lap, and she ruined the Sopranos for Wong. Listen, I'm
Oh
not one
wow.
of the people that
Oh
was
wow.
able to testify and say that I watched The Sopranos.
Mm-hmm.
So I know how it is. So she should have had the spoiler warning, and Juan would have
She didn't
knew.
have the
Hey,
horn. She didn't have the horn.
anyway, uh, point being, she made a deal with a demon named Jake.
Yeah, demon goat.
Who could this be?
Listen,
We're in hell.
we are,
We
or
got horns.
some form of it.
I mean, is it a demon or is it the demon?
You know, before I jump to any conclusions or perform any amount of speculation, you have to consider the source, right? Because obviously
Why?
Madison
Because she's a
was,
drunk,
well,
stroking
maybe the
girl.
details that she was recalling weren't 100% accurate.
Dude, she had a heart in her hand.
I mean, she probably thought it was still a drink, to be honest.
That's true. But wait,
Because I mean,
didn't
she
she have
was
a
holding
drink
like
in the
about.
other hand?
Did she?
She had
I
a
don't
drink
know.
in her hand and a heart in the other hand, right? Or wear your heart on your sleeve. I'm thinking,
I don't know. I don't know.
listen, poor Madison just came for a magic show, goes to hell, has to give up her blood, probably sold her soul, come back with a heart in her hand. It might have been a relationship there.
True.
And then,
True.
yeah, well, that's time works differently in different dimensions.
We
So
don't know how long she was there.
she clearly didn't learn a lesson because next time she was called into court, she was still drinking. So
No,
Madison likes to
I
have a
don't think
good
that's
time.
yeah, I don't think that's gonna stop her at all. Ma'am,
Listen,
you can't bring that in the courtroom. She gave it to the bailiffs. It's okay. You can drink that. I'm not sick.
that was hilarious. That was hilarious.
Oh
Stole the
my
show.
god,
She-Hulk had to
she
play
did.
the second role because, again, now here's the thing. It's just carefully sprinkled in, right?
Mm-hmm.
Don't get me wrong. Don't get me wrong. Let's go ahead and we already established this show is super. So let's just go ahead and get that out the way.
Okay.
Now, if you're waiting for that, you have a reason to leave. If you're still here, you really do like it.
You're
Okay.
hereby free to leave if you.
You're here, yeah. Well, you know, you can click the subscribe button and catch the next episode. But see, She-Hulk is one of those shows that's leaning on it's strongly super. Unless they do something crazy and fumble the ending, I think they got one.
Mm-hmm.
But it has happened because again, Miss Marvel did
Yeah.
great, and I think they
Until
rushed the ending
yeah,
on
they
that
rushed
one.
the hell
But
out of the ending.
we got 10 episodes on this one versus the normal 6, so I think we may
9.
be safe.
We have 9 for
Well,
She-Hulk.
9 left. Who
No,
did?
no,
Who
we
did
have
this?
9 episodes on
Who
She-Hulk.
did this? Who's?
It's an odd number 9.
Okay, so we got 9 episodes on She-Hulk. Maybe they're gonna botch the ending. I don't know, but right now it's holding it down as the number one show on Disney Plus, in my opinion, because it's new, it's fresh, good take on this story going on. It's just episodic now.
Yeah.
Wong is suing Donnie Blaze not for dropping Madison into his home. No. Not from even holding that sling ring down from Comatage. But he's actually suing Donnie Blaze because Madison spoiled The Sopranos.
That's
So
be
he's
honest,
blaming Donnie because you brought this chick. Why is the Sorcerer Supreme so petty? I'm thinking the Sorcerer Supreme got a lot more things to worry about than suing Donnie Blaze.
Look,
So he comes back.
he wanted to watch The Sopranos, and she came and she spoiled it for him. And the only reason she was there was because of Donnie Blaze. So it's like, you know what? Enough, because he's already known of Donnie Blaze because it wasn't a surprise because he was like, "Have you gone to this magic show?" And so of course he sues under the reasoning that Donnie is misusing the mystic arts. He's teleporting people to other dimensions, which he is doing, and it is causing, it's a danger to send mortals or send regular humans to these other dimensions and then just leave them stranded. Because we see that now that Donnie feels that this is the main attraction to his show, he's doing it every show. He's trying to do it to a young lady, and she was like, "No, I'm not stepping through that fire circle."
I'm good.
Last week you stranded my friend in some parking garage. And when he opened up the port, it looked like he was about to send this woman to a truck stop.
Random, right?
Just
That's
random
crazy.
places, and he just leaves them there. And just like, she's like, "Nah, I'm good." And everybody's like, "Oh, we've seen this before." So, it's old hat now. It's like, we're tired of it. Like,
It's
you're a one trick
horrible.
pony. And like, what else do you got? And
Oh, Donnie. Donnie was amazing. Donnie changed his outfit in the courtroom from white to black. Donnie Blaze. Donnie with the pyrotechnics in his hand. Donnie Blaze.
the spark.
Floating on a wire. Donnie Blaze.
Because when I watched the episode, I'm thinking that they were going to be like, "Oh, this is an actual magician." And then when he was levitating, he dropped down and I saw the rope come off his back. I lost it. I was like, "Oh, okay. So this is the kind of magician that we're looking at right now."
Hey, man. Donnie Blaze got loyal fans and followers. You can follow him at DonnieBlaze.com.
He got one hype man. That's what he got. He got one
the bottom
devoted
line
hype man.
The bottom line is Wong didn't want this dude practicing sorcery no more because he got kicked out of Comitage. And again, I don't know why they didn't take a sling ring back, but he has the ability to open the dimension from not just hell, but anywhere that can open up all kind of problems.
Right.
Later
Because
on.
if I remember correctly, in Doctor Strange, using the sling ring to open up the portals, that was like one of the first things that he learned, right?
Yeah,
So I guess that's like one of the Comertage 101, like lesson number one. Use your sling ring to open up a portal. So who knows how long he was there before he got kicked out. And I mean, it looked like he struggled with it for a little bit, so maybe he couldn't get it.
Might have been out of practice.
Yeah, it might have been out of practice, and maybe he was like Doctor Strange, kind of struggling at the beginning. He couldn't get it, and then they just ended up kicking him out. But he, I don't know, smuggled the sling ring out.
Yeah, but Ned Leeds was able to do it. He had magic in his fingers. So.
Ned is a sorcerer. Ned is a certified sorcerer.
Ain't no sorcerer.
Donnie Blaze,
well, not anymore. I'm pretty
Donnie
sure
Blaze is no Ned Leeds.
Hey, don't you hate on Donnie Blaze. Donnie Blaze is a national treasure. And Juan wanted to take that man livelihood from him. But Donnie Blaze was able to make a rabbit
is a danger to society.
Here out of nowhere. You see that rabbit here out of nowhere? It was like, ta-da! That rabbit came out of nowhere. And the judge was like, you can't take Donnie Blaze's livelihood from him.
The judge was thoroughly convinced.
The Wong was like, damn. It was like She-Hulk.
Like, are you serious?
But technically, that was not a loss on She-Hulk. I want to show this to everybody that's taking record and score because I weekly said, or last week without the LY, said that She-Hulk was a better lawyer than Matt Murdock because I don't remember Matt winning any case. And he didn't take Spider-Man's case to trial.
Right.
I think he just got the charges waived, but that's not a win. It's a win, but it's not a courtroom win. She-Hulk now has, I don't know how many she had as Jennifer Walters, but She-Hulk has 2. Well, she won the other one, but they fired her because she saved people. and they
Well,
just
that
didn't
one
want
wasn't
to.
one. That one was thrown out.
This is also true. We still let She-Hulk as how many cases has Matt Murdock won?
Are we talking about all the way back to the Netflix series?
Are we talking about all the way back to Ben Affleck?
That's this.
I don't
That's
think
a
he won that
stretch.
case either, though, right?
I don't even remember what that case was. I'm
Hmm.
not about. I'm not about to go back and watch Ben Affleck Daredevil movie.
Damn it!
No,
Because
we're not.
it ain't super.
It is not super. What definitely wasn't super was him blowing out Michael Clark Duncan's knees like that at the end of the movie.
That's just so wrong. Rest in peace to the Green Mile Giant. Damn it, that was a bad one. And it's not. It's just. Oh my goodness! You got Colin Farrell just giving it his all.
Yeah, with
Anyway,
the
She-Hulk is
bullseye
gonna
in
be
his
a better
forehead.
lawyer. Yeah, I just don't know what that's about. That's just it looks like he looked like a dinner roll, like a dinner roll. They got the branding on it.
Yeah.
Cute for your dinner, for your family dinner.
Oh,
Anyway, She-Hulk's a better lawyer. We can keep tally right now.
okay.
I don't remember Matt winning a case. Anyway, so the rabbit came. The judge said we're not going to take Donnie's livelihood from him. And Donnie was back at it again, sending women to who knows where
Right.
and leaving them stranded. But he opens up a portal to hell. And it's
Yeah.
confirmed to be hell because if it's not hell, it's a demon dimension. Because actual demons came out of there. Now, the interesting part about it is Donnie had the pigeon or the bird.
The dove.
And the
Oh,
bird
yeah.
laid the dove. The dove laid an egg, and the demon was inside of the egg. Where does dove come from?
I don't that part. That part was the. And I say this as the only part that didn't make sense to me. And we're talking about a superhero show where we have demons coming out from hell. That's the only part that didn't really track. I don't know about that one.
I don't know either. He kicked it, and the demon caught the dove
And
and
then
went
fell
down
back in
back
the
to
portal.
hell. So it wasn't that important because it didn't. I think the dove came from hell, which is crazy because you would think it'll be a demon dove, but hey, they got to have peace somewhere, right? You got to have peace in hell.
I guess.
Maybe it's a weird Easter egg. But the more demons came out of there, definitely brought the attention of Wong because Donnie Blaze had to own up and was like, yo, I know we got our differences.
Right.
But,
I know we beefing right now, but I need your help.
I need your help. Like these demons was coming, and it's like, you gonna do something? Wong had to come to the rescue. But interestingly enough, he brings in She-Hulk.
Right. And so
And he even said, I brought you because you're a Hulk.
Right.
I need help.
yeah, but so while all of that's going on with Donnie Blaze,
Donnie
Jen,
Blaze.
yeah, so Jen is having a bit of a crisis trying to date. So she goes on. We open up on Jen, and she's going through her entire list of all of her things that she needs to do, all the things that are on calendar, all the cases that she needs to finalize and close out and everything.
God
But the
damn,
only
it's a lot.
thing it is a lot. But the only thing that she does is that the only thing that she completes, and Mark says checked off on her to-do list, is to complete her matcher profile. We see that she has basically a professional headshot, like her business card headshot as her profile photo for the dating app. So her and Nikki
Now,
go out.
I will say this. Jen, that wasn't the best picture to
No,
use. That doesn't
no,
scream fun. That
not
doesn't
for a
scream
dating app.
adventurous.
No,
No.
that's a LinkedIn headshot. That's what that
Yeah,
is.
that's a LinkedIn shot. You're gonna get a resume today.
Yeah.
Not a good one. Not a good
No.
look, Jen. But so in comparison, if she would have put maybe a more livelier picture as Jennifer Walters, she may have possibly got some results. But that's just me mansplaining on what you do on your profile. But you
Right.
know, you put what you want. I'm just going by what I saw She-Hulk had a more livelier appearance. Not to mention that she was She-Hulk and green, and
Yeah. And so one thing one thing that I found was funny was Jen gets a match because basically Nikki just takes her phone and starts swiping right on everybody. She's like, law of statistics, you swipe on everybody, you'll get half of them to match with, and then that's when the real filtering starts. And so Jen goes on a date with the guy.
Sound like somebody that's been on an app or two.
Yeah, I think Nikki has probably had her fair share of experience with some dating apps. But so Jen goes out on a date with this guy. He's completely self-absorbed. He's talking about how he's an entrepreneur. So he's like, "Oh, and what field? TBD." It's like, no, fool, you ain't got a job. You ain't got a job.
Working on it. Don't worry about it. It's okay.
And so Jen starts to talk about herself, and he's completely disinterested. There's a couple other women that walk by. He's checking them out. He's on his phone.
This dude was horrible.
Absolutely horrible. 100% asshole.
When the bill came, I don't know why he pretended like he was going to pay the bill. He knew he wasn't going to pay the bill. And Jen was just like waiting to see
if he was going to pay the bill. And he pulled out his phone. Jen's like, yeah, it's great. But so Jen
and
gets...
he called her 6. Oh my God.
Yeah, it's just
horrible.
All kinds of awful. But the fact that Jen gets home and checks her phone because the alert from Matcher goes off. There's literally an alert that goes off on her phone, and she picks up her phone thinking that she has a match on Matcher, and it says you have no new matches.
No matches. Like, why is that a notification?
Exactly. I literally said out loud, Michelle and I were watching the episode, I literally said out loud, I was like, why is that a notification? And then a split second later, Jen said, why is that even a notification?
That's hilarious. Best thing on Disney Plus right now is She-Hulk, Attorney at Law.
The writing is so good. The writing is so good.
So, the thing about it, She-Hulk's ready to get it on. Juan pops in like a dad. He says, I feel like your
father. He really said, I feel like your dad.
Which is interesting about it, though, because Wong just had his night interrupted with somebody popping on him.
Very true.
To come full circle, not even call, but
he did call. Jen was ignoring her phone.
That is true. That is true.
He said, "Why are you not answering your cellular device?"
She's trying to get her She-Hulk on because she found somebody that was actually kind and nice to her and interesting,
respectful.
But at the same time, at the end of it, he's really not that into you.
Yeah.
He's into She-Hulk.
Right.
Not that into you.
Yeah. And because it was why the reason I didn't expect that is because not only because it was a extreme contrast, because we saw that it was kind of set up like that because all the other guys that she went out with, like we see David Otunga, former WWE superstar David Otunga. He's
happy to see David Otunga.
Yeah, I'm happy to see him too. But so he's he's a buff dude. Also, of course, coincidental because he went to Harvard. He graduated from Harvard. So he has, I don't know if he passed the bar, if he could practice law or anything, but I know he graduated from Harvard.
If anybody graduated from Harvard, trust me, they'll let you know. I think they'll let you know.
Yeah. But so like I said, he's a big muscular dude. He turns out to be a gym nut. So he's asking She-Hulk how much she can bench or how much she can lift. And he's like, yeah, I lifted 375 last week, MBD, just complete muscle head. And then when we see that all of these guys are going out with She-Hulk just for the novelty of it, we get one guy who's like completely interested in like whether her skin's impenetrable. He wants to know all the details about all her powers and stuff.
It's creepy, ain't it?
Very creepy. Makes you wonder, is this the guy that hired the wrecking crew, or is he somebody else set by whoever hired the wrecking crew to start getting like details about She-Hulk?
Yeah, that is a little bit too personal on the first date. I don't care if you're dating a superhero. You don't be like, "What's your limitations?
Right.
Like,
What's
what's
your
your weak?"
weakness? Yeah.
Yeah,
You don't go
like,
up to
dude, I don't
Superman and
even.
ask what your weakness is.
I heard you don't like green rocks. How true is this?
So I mean, if I throw a piece of jade at your forehead, is that gonna take you out?
That's
Is it
horrible.
is it any green rocks?
That's horrible too.
But
And it's
yeah,
creepy. It's real creepy.
yeah, absolutely creepy. But so we see this contrast of all these jerks, all these assholes that she's going out on dates with, and now she sees this guy who's like really personable, very attentive. He says, "You know what? I've been on a lot of these first dates. I don't really like talking about myself. Tell me about yourself." Well, who's the first guy to really genuinely ask her about herself? And then they go out on a date. Jen brings him back home. Wong interrupts her, takes her away. She comes back. Guy's still there, just hanging out. And so I'm thinking, oh, like, okay, maybe this guy's like a really good dude. And then we get to the next morning, like we talked about. Jen fix him, makes him a full breakfast, all this other
So
kind of stuff.
disrespectful.
And he comes out and like, who are you? And which one? Jen was all over the news for like weeks.
Yeah, I will say this. I will say some people may not have known her. She's still on the come up. She's still kind of new at being a Hulk.
Yeah, but
Maybe they don't
feel like
know.
I feel like if you go on a
But she
dating
is like
hoe, if you go on a
7 and she's
dating app
green.
and you see that there are no other female. Okay, so as far as we know, there are no other female Hulks in in this
I think
MCU
that's
right
a
now.
safe, I think that's a safe bet. Yeah.
And so if you're swiping on an app and you see a green woman, that's going to raise some kind of like, is there a green woman in
Maybe.
LA that I don't know about? I think
Hey,
that
there
any reasonable person would do some type of research.
you would think, right?
Yeah.
You would think. But it wasn't too jarring for me. It kind of was here, then it's gone. I think
Mm-hmm.
if you linger on it too long, it takes away from what it was.
Yeah.
Clearly, she had a good time.
Right.
She woke up in the morning as Jennifer Walters, baby. Yeah.
Yeah.
She-Hulk had to go to sleep, but it wasn't meant to last. Here's something
No.
that I did notice, right?
Mm-hmm.
Bruce Banner, we got Bruce Banner.
Right.
Yeah. Bruce Banner in a conflict with the Hulk. The Hulk is his own personality.
Right.
Though his intelligence had been dumbed down, he was a rage monster. We see Hulk get more intelligent as the story progressed.
Right.
From puny guy, so Ragnarok Hulk was talking, just always mad, just like a fire. He's talking to Thor. Everybody's just like, wow, Hulk's talking.
Yeah.
Not being shocked about it. And then we get the transition to Smart Hulk, which again, I don't think the way they did the MCU, they could have done it any better. They did it perfectly to transition to how we getting She-Hulk, because we got Small Hulk, and like I was saying in one of the other episodes that we had, that there's no way Bruce would have willingly given her his
His
blood.
blood. Right.
Yeah, even if it was to save her life, because this Bruce knows what he has inside of him. He knows he has a rage monster inside of him, and I don't think he would have voluntarily gave that to his family member, let alone anyone else. He has trouble controlling it,
Right.
so I don't think he would have inflicted it on anybody else purposely. So the way it happened was the greatest way that it possibly could happen, and then we fast forward, we got She-Hulk. The thing, what I'm saying is, Bruce has this conflict. Hulk is a person, Bruce is a person.
Right.
They collide because they're trying to control the body. When we have She-Hulk, she doesn't have that other personality that she has to deal with. She has control over her emotions, but she still has that struggle. The struggle is Jennifer Walters versus all the popularity and the accolades that She-Hulk gets.
Right.
So the struggle is the ugly girl versus the hot girl,
Mm-hmm.
and it's more of a personal conflict, not a physical control of body. It's more of the I want to be Jennifer Walters. My job's making me be She-Hulk. I'm getting all the attention to She-Hulk. Uh, it's almost like that's her conflict.
Right.
And then she's starting to like the attention as She-Hulk. So it's kind of like how they had Iron Man instead of his vice being his alcoholism, his vice was being Iron Man.
Right.
She-Hulk is going to be the same way in the opposite. Her vice is to try to be Jennifer Walters, but she keeps getting pulled back and everything is getting pulled towards her being She-Hulk.
She-Hulk.
That's her conflict. It's not the same as Hulk. It's different, and I like it. She-Hulk's winning right now on Disney. I just wanted to do the part. I just want y'all to know that. Come on, everybody knows when that little snap comes on Disney, they be right there. Lean with it, Disney Plus. Lean with it, Disney Plus.
But so we
This is why they listen on a podcast so they have to see this nonsense. Like, I don't want to see them do all that.
Yeah, but so we get our action scene for the episode, where She-Hulk, Wong calls her in. They go to the magic house, the Mystic Castle, where Donnie Blaze was doing his magic, and he opened up the portal, and all the demons come out. So She-Hulk is helping Wong fight back the demons. She's tossing them back to Wong. Wong storing them. He looks like he opened up a portal back to Mount Wundagore. It looks like.
Yeah, it does look like that. I thought I saw Wanda in the background, like, oh shit. I didn't know nobody was coming back here. Damn, so now I got demons to do. She gonna be pissed. She not dead.
No.
She gonna come out of that little cocoon. She's probably gonna be strong and shit. And you see all these little demons around. I'm gonna kill them. I'm gonna kill them all.
Swat them like flies. But
speaking of swatting like flies, what's the deal with She-Hulk? Hit the one into the wall and he mutated, and he was on straight protein.
So that's the other thing about this episode that I couldn't necessarily follow, or at least it wasn't explained to us. Maybe they'll explain it in a future episode, but because it's not like that was the only one that she hit, because she straight up stumped on one of them. And
and he didn't die,
and it did not die. Came right back to life. So it's not. I guess I don't know. Maybe it's the amount of damage that they've taken, and that was one that just happened to reach that threshold. But then the thing about it is, after that one transformed. No, the one that she stepped on did not mutate. It just got up and started flying again.
One it kind of did, but then I was like, well, I'm tripping.
And maybe it got a little bit bigger.
Yeah. And then it got,
maybe it got a little bit bigger. So I don't know. But I also noticed that once that one mutated, like 2, 3, 4 more also mutated. And then they all started kind of coming after her. So I don't know.
You know who can answer that?
Wongers?
No, Jake. Jake knows people. Not Jake from State Farm. This is not the same Jake. Not the same Jake. This is a different Jake. But I don't know if he would have showed up like a good neighbor. I would have been like, damn, Jake.
Yeah.
Anyway, She-Hulk, attorney at law, comes in, saves the day, goes back home with demon entrails in their hair. Or what was it? Demon what?
No, it was a claw. It was a demon claw.
Gross. And she was ready to get it on. So she got it on. And here we go. Here's the big twist at the ending, which is so funny when she broke the fourth wall on this one. She broke the fourth wall. Like, that's just kind of a shitty way to end the episode, right?
Right.
She's getting sued by Titania, who has the rights to the name She-Hulk.
Trademark the name She-Hulk.
So, what are we going to do about this, Spider? Because she didn't even pick the name. But you know what? She did say on the talk show that she was given the name She-Hulk.
Yes, and I think that may come into play in the suit, because she never picked the name. So even if Titania did,
she did confirm it on TV though.
Yeah, she could. That's like video evidence that she's not claiming the name. She's not claiming to have started it. She's not claiming to own it. She said, "This is what people are calling me." So for Titania to sue Jennifer Walters, then I don't think that case will be able to stand up in court. Now, where moving forward after that, if the trademark is going to hold up, because obviously the show is called She-Hulk Attorney at Law, so I would imagine that she would still be able to use the name She-Hulk moving forward. So
I
does
don't know.
Titania?
Maybe that's the thing. Maybe
Yeah.
season 2 is She-Hulk getting her name back.
But what I'm thinking is that because we know, and people who are initiated or familiar with the character of She-Hulk, they know that Titania is one of her biggest or one of her most hated rivals. So would the fact that Titania loses this lawsuit against Jennifer Walters feed into that rivalry between them? Because obviously, what?
Will Titania join the Thunderbolts?
No, I don't think so. Um,
You don't think so?
No, well, actually, I don't, because they already introduced who's going to be in the Thunderbolts at D23.
Oh, run that list down.
So we have U.S. Agent John Walker.
Of course.
We have Black Widow Yelena Belova, the new Black Widow or the White Widow, some like to refer to as. But we have Yelena Belova.
That's
We
racist.
also have Bucky Barnes, aka the Winter Soldier.
When we last saw Bucky, he was wrapping things up with Sam, the new Captain America. Why would he defect and go work for these villains like he did in the comics?
Don't know.
Is he undercover?
Possibly.
He got too much stuff going on with Wakanda, with Sam.
Right.
He already stood next to Captain America. He knows what he stood for.
And
he's no longer brainwashed.
Yeah, why would he willingly work with John Walker, a man who he visibly hated for trying to pretend to be Steve? Right. So yeah, I think he's undercover. I think that's a perfect.
Abomination is on parole, saying that he will never be the Abomination again.
Right. So they did not. They did not say that he was going to be part of the Thunderbolts. So we have U.S. Agent. We have Yelena Belova. We have Winter Soldier. We also have Red Guardian. So John Harper's coming back.
His daughter's there, so that's great.
Yeah. We also have Taskmaster going to be a part of the Thunderbolts.
Yeah, she's no longer brainwashed either, and it'll be interesting if she can actually get some dialogue from her to explain that she's forgiven Black Widow, and that can wrap up that mess of a movie that they made.
But last but not least, and I'll go on record and say that you were right in predicting this, but the last person in the Thunderbolts is Ghost.
I mean,
you called it. You said we were going to see Ghost again. I didn't think it would happen.
Well, that just goes to show you and everyone else who doubts Mr. VIP Frankie Washington. Don't do that. It's crazy. You got some wild theories that come true. And Spider says if it's a prediction that comes true, it's not a
spoiler.
There you go. But we miss her. We want to see her phase 3.
Do we?
Yeah, you miss her too. Don't act like that. You want to see.
Can't say that I miss her.
Come on, she did. You not see her had her hand around her throat? Oh, that's some sinister shit.
This is true, but I can't say that I miss her.
I will phase your throat out of your body. Don't tell me. Don't. And I can disappear. What you gonna do? What you gonna do? I'm gone. She is threatening, dude. See how she just showed up out of nowhere? She had T.I. scared. He was right there. He was acting. Yes, I know he was acting. But he acted his ass off because he looked like he was scared. She just showed up out of nowhere.
I'm kind of upset because I don't think we get T.I. in Quantumania.
You know what? I'm gonna say this: that they don't put the King of the South and Quantumania, that's a missed opportunity because Ant-Man is just as good with his supporting cast, and what those guys bring to the table should not be ignored. They are definitely intricate in making it a complete story. So I wouldn't take not one of those cast members out. In fact, I
Yeah.
would add to it. That's just my opinion. Like all things that's on this show, it's just the
Right.
opinion of one deranged crazy person and another deranged crazy person
Exactly.
in a deranged crazy show. She-Hulk, attorney at law. What's your favorite part in this episode?
I think my favorite part of this episode, it was a surprise, but at first, and it was so funny because at first, like Madison is the typical,
Willie
like,
Madison.
kind of, drunk party girl, kind of airheaded, and you're just like, oh my God, it's like, she's so grating. I'm hoping like this is the only part that we see her in and then just be done with it. And it's like the longer she stayed around, the more she grew on me. And we haven't talked about the mid credit scene, but the mid credit scene is literally just Madison and Wong sitting on the couch getting ready to
Young Madison.
watch This Is Us.
Hey,
And
this is us is worth watching.
and then they just start talking about like what alcohol they have at Comertage, what's Wong's favorite drink, and it's just such a nice, personable conversation, and it's like I'm not trying to ship Madison and Wong. I'm not saying that they're going to start a relationship, like be romantically involved or anything like
I
that.
don't
If
see
they
what
are,
it
if they are, that's fine. But that's not what I'm looking for. That's not what I'm expecting. Whether they do, whether they don't, it's not going to make a difference to me. But I like the contrast of all of these different, like you said, Jen is sort of starting to feel She-Hulk, become more confident as She-Hulk because that's what's getting her the attention. So she's going out on these dates, and all of these conversations that She-Hulk had with these dudes that she was dating compared to the conversation that Madison and Wong are having, just hanging out, two people chilling on the couch, talking about something that apparently interests both of them. Because they're like, "Have you ever had a slow gin fizz?" And he's like, "No." "Have you had a Long Island iced tea?" "Yeah, I've had Long Island iced tea." "Well, what's your
Yeah,
favorite drink?"
right?
"Gin and tonic." And they're like, "Oh, okay, Wongers living with the gin and tonic." And it's
Yeah,
like,
young.
and it's just that
Either she
nice,
has a
pleasant
problem or
conversation.
I would like to see what else they'll talk about outside of
I was,
alcohol, but other than
I
that,
mean, obviously she's seen The Sopranos, she's seen This Is Us, so they have
hey,
some
two
shows in
things I want
common.
to say real quick though. Shout out to this guy
Mm-hmm.
because I predicted This Is Us in the MCU like some episodes ago. I did do it. I did it. The other thing is, what was it? I don't know. I was so happy about that one. Oh, the other thing is remember we talked about this last episode. Jennifer Walsh's ensemble, right? She needed to get us on ATS merch. But other than that, we were talking about how our clothes were not flattering.
Flattering, right?
She had a stretchy suit, and rightfully so, she ripped almost every suit that she was in. But I remember her in episode one when she came to the job as She Hulk. She had on a nice She Hulk outfit. Then she went to this suit ensemble, and I think it's going to be a big reveal when she starts wearing She Hulk outfits.
Right, because
More of
we
a
saw in the
feminine
trailer
nature.
that she's going to be at some point she's going to be in sort of like a romper, like a jumpsuit, like a spandex outfit.
She's at it, right? Roll that beautiful bean footage.
No, we don't have replay functionality on this show, so
I'm crying if I had an eyeball. Get some editing going. She-Hulk attorney at law. Listen, this is a good time had by Disney. Did my microphone catch that? Was it too loud? but for those who watch this show, this microphone is trash. Leave the recommendations on what microphone I need to get in the comments. What? I'm trying to upgrade our show, man.
I understand.
It's gonna be
I
like
told you,
this one. This is gonna be like the horrible microphone.
probably. It'll pick it up though.
So,
It'll pick up every single noise.
oh my God, no one wants that. My favorite part, I think, was Matt's as well because it was a joy and a delight.
Hmm.
I'm looking for more of her in the MCU. I want to see where else she's going to show up. I want to see if she's going to be in a support group like Captain America was, or if she's going to ride that thing out and continue to be a party girl. Because we want to see this play out with Jake. I want to know if Jake's coming for what Madison promised her, which who knows what it was.
Right.
Clearly her soul, maybe.
I
And I
mean, they
love the
had
fact
a.
that we're getting. Go ahead.
No, I was gonna say they had the like the art, the credit art where Madison was signing her name on a contract to a goat.
I love the fact that these are episodic shows now. We're
Hmm.
gonna get an overall. Which episode we're on 4 now? We're
Yeah.
almost next week. The midway scene. Nope, it's not. It's not the midway scene because we don't have 10 episodes. We got 9. Who the hell signed off for this
Yeah, I don't
9
know.
episodes? Like what? Like why? Why Disney? Why? Are they gonna botch the end, Spider? Let me know now. Because we got such a great thing going. We had a great thing going with Ms. Marvel, and we got to the end. Don't get me wrong. It was good to see Captain Marvel, but we rushed that ending. And
Yeah.
then you want to throw in mutants just to try to make it worth something. I understand. I understand. Ms. Marvel is the first mutant in the MCU. She has a mutation in her genetic code. Were we looking at the same situation with She-Hulk? Is she a mutant too? Does she have a mutation in her genetic code? She had something in her bloodline that made her optimize gamma better than anybody else. That's how
Right, but
Bruce was able to
then
heal his arm.
so
Is she a mutant?
that would make Bruce have to be a mutant too if they share similar genetic structure.
Hey man, what's going on in the MCU right now? Because
Things
the
that we have
good
no
people
idea of
over
yet.
there. Well, like we say all the time on this show, it takes the story in a different direction. So I'm all for it. I just don't want them to botch the ending. We haven't had a great ending since WandaVision.
I thought
You
Loki
can't
was
say
pretty good.
Falcon and the Winter. Which one?
Loki.
Loki. You know what? I take that back. Loki was awesome.
Hmm.
So maybe we should do a show just for that ranking of Disney Plus shows because some stand out more
Yeah.
than others. Let us know if that's something y'all want to see in the comment section.
Right.
She-Hulk, Attorney at Law, super. Goddamn right it is. It's been super since episode 1. And if you're not watching it, it means you're watching us. Thanks. Thank you for that. I
Oh
appreciate
yeah,
it.
man.
We
It's
appreciate
absolutely super. It's the show gets better every week. I will say that out of the episodes that we've had so far, um, the my expectations of the episode, and it's not expectations in
Hold
the.
on. Hold on. This just in. This is it coming from Mount Fiji. Uh, Spider's expectations are up here very high. We're waiting for them to come down.
If you let me explain, and I
They're
was
not
gonna
coming down. Okay, here we
what I
go.
was going to say was not my expectations of the show, but what I was hoping was going to happen in this episode. I was hoping that we were going to get some more details about into who hired the wrecking crew, who's trying to get Jen's blood. I was hoping that we were going to kind of even if we weren't going to be a main part of the episode, if we could at least kind of like maybe go into that at some point. So
I
that
think it
was the
was
only
a creep.
thing that I was hoping to see, hoping to kind of get some of those questions answered, but we didn't really touch on any of that in this episode.
I think it was that creepy guy. Just the way he was asking those
Yeah,
questions,
yeah,
he seemed really kind of. Those are not first date questions.
no,
I mean, granted, she is a superhero. It will come up into casual conversation later on, but this ain't Shazam, baby. This ain't let's see what you could do. Uh, and go through a montage of discovering your powers. Like you're dating her. That's not how much can you bench? Like a ton.
Yeah,
Like what are we doing here? What's going on? It's not the type of interview that I'm trying to have on a date.
exactly.
Trying to see if we can get these fries to go. You know what I'm saying? That's what we about right now. Real
Right.
grown woman Jennifer Walters shit. You know what I'm saying?
Exactly.
Hey, so here's the thing. What was your pet peeve about this episode? I mean, every show had its flaws, every episode had its ups, its downs. What did you not like about it? Since we keep it 100 on this show.
I mean, like I said, I
Or is
was
this one of the best episodes thus far?
no, I wouldn't say it was one of the best episodes. I
Damn. There we go. There it is. Expectations soaring high.
It's not about expectations, but there's been other episodes. I think that episode 3 with Blonsky's parole. I would say that episode is better than this one.
Damn.
But yeah, like I
Because
said,
like,
I thought the story was better than this one. Because Wong's motivation for him basically letting Donnie Blaze do his thing up until Madison came in and spoiled the Sopranos, and that's what led him to sue.
He's so petty.
I feel like Wong is, I don't know, because we see that Wong, and the thing about it is we get introduced to Wong in Doctor Strange, and he's this very serious character up until the very end of the movie where Doctor Strange says something and makes Wong crack up laughing. But so I don't know if because it's kind of almost like Thor and all the Thor movies, and how Thor sort of gets funnier as his movies go along. It seems like the more we see of Wong, the more like relaxed and not as serious he becomes, because we see him in Doctor Strange.
He was dancing, eating a biscuit. Watching the Sopranos, he was dancing, eating a biscuit, sitting down. We saw Wong do a little jig or something.
And we know that we know that he listens to Beyonce. You know, he gets down.
Of course. What? Who doesn't listen to Beyonce?
He won't break his soul.
You won't break my soul. We go tonight, yeah.
But no, I think that yeah, just like I was saying before, my pet peeve for this episode was just that I didn't get as much as I wanted for answering like who's the wrecking crew, who hired them, and what their intent or what their plans are.
There you go. There you go again.
That's not high standards. That's actually it's better for the show, because it's like
you're getting led into it. They can't just give you the meat and potatoes.
No, that's why I say it's better for the show, because it's keeping me interested. It's giving me extra things that I didn't know that I wanted, and so kudos to them. Kudos, yeah, I do. I got a piece of cake in the kitchen right now that I need to eat.
Now I'm jealous. Now I want cake.
What about you? What was your pet peeve for the episode?
I actually don't have any this go around. Listen, the fourth wall break was on point. I liked it, but I've been liking all of the fourth wall breaks since she did it with Bruce, and she looked her at the camera, and Bruce looked at her. Bruce wasn't looking at the camera; he was looking at her. I know there was a lot of speculation about that. Maybe Bruce could see the camera too, but there was nothing that ever alluded that Bruce could break a fourth wall. But Jennifer Walters can, and she does. And here's the thing: is it a cameo show though? Because we've gotten Jennifer Walters with Wong and Blonsky, and then Wong again, and
Megan Thee Stallion.
Megan Thee Stallion.
Right.
Please don't forget Megan Thee Stallion. So now who's coming in episode 5? Is it going to be, because she said, don't forget whose show this is.
Right. Is it going to be Daredevil, Matt Murdock? We still have an appearance of
adding this show with cameos to make it a success. Because here at All Things Super, we look at the structure and break stuff down. Are we sneaking in cameos to ensure a victory? No, because I think if they didn't have these cameos, we still have a pretty decent show. I like where they're going with it. I like what they're doing, and the cameos are nice. Like I said, they're breaking it down to episodic shows with still an overall Titania kind of narrative.
Right.
Because clearly she's coming back, she's being sued, she's the villain of the show, and we're seeing how that rivalry kind of is starting to come root and take place because
Yeah.
she can't just hate her. There's no context there. They have to have something to not get along with. So I'm thinking, and like you said, She-Hulk continues to be She-Hulk. So at some point, Titania loses this case.
Right.
Oilers, man. The name of the show, She-Hulk. I didn't really think I need to put that out there for that. But at some point, she loses this case. So you can see the seeds of, I don't really like this. I don't.
Right.
You?
And
And then you can really understand. Like I said before, Marvel is good for doing that. Instead of telling you, they show you. Now you get this whole understanding when you see them on screen together. This goes all the way back to that. Like you took something from me that I followed the book.
right.
I legally trademarked my name, and you're about to see Jennifer Walters do something Matt Murdock can't win a case, and she's gonna have the name She-Hulk. And I'm here for it.
But one of the good things that I like about what She-Hulk is doing is it is very akin to the comic books where you'll have an issue where you have the introduction of She-Hulk and how she got her powers, or that origin story. And then you have, you know, at the end of episode 1, we see Titania burst through the courtroom because she was trying to get away from, you know, traffic court or whatever. And so the reason they started fighting, we still don't know what's going on.
Do we see more slow motion moves from Titania? Do we see more of those?
I hope not. I hope not. If we have a fight, I hope it's an actual fight and we get to see like actual fighting going on. But like just like comics where you'll have the issue that introduces the villain and the villain gets thwarted, and then you have, you know, multiple issues where your main character has to deal with what else is going on with their lives, maybe deal with another threat and stuff like that. So it's not that Titania is going away, but just like the comic books, there's other things.
All charges are dropped, right?
Yeah, they dropped the charges. Why they dropped the charges of her like trying to
breaking
into the courtroom, trying to run away from traffic court? I don't know. Well, maybe we'll find out about that in the next episode. But I like the idea of having a villain or antagonist to your main character who doesn't, you know, like what they do in the movies, they get killed or they get cured, so they're no longer a threat. But have the hero maybe beat them in one episode and then go 3-4 episodes before they come back. Then they come back, you know, they might tussle for a couple episodes. Then at the end of the second, the villain gets beat again, you know, slinks away, you know, always a comeback. You know, you never know when they're going to come back, but in the back of your mind, you're like, they're still out there. They could, you know, and maybe they're, you know, plotting with a partner of, you know, another bad guy, or they have like some sort of intricate plot. But I feel like it gives you so much more that you can kind of like integrate into the story because you have that villain in the background and you never know when they're going to come back.
That's comic books.
Yeah.
That is comic book. One of the coolest things is Spider-Man just swinging through the city. All good. It's all good. Maybe Mary Jane and gave me a kiss. The back of his mind is I hope that she and then wham, Venom out of nowhere. What's up, Spider-Man? And it's like, dude, like not today. I wasn't even feeling you today. You know, you don't have spider senses to even sense Venom. So it's just like always caught off guard, always an interruption. But you know, like you said, at any point in time, ta-da, I heard you looking for me.
Right.
Yeah, I go in jail. Goddamn shame. Hey, come here. Yes, you, come here. Go watch She-Hulk. If you watched it already, then you can stay. But if you haven't and you stayed this long, clearly you love us. And we love you too. Thank you. Thank you for staying with this craziness of all things super. Because we give it to y'all unscripted, just a great conversation about multiple things, and you're a part of that, and we appreciate you. I just wanted to say that, just get that out there.
Well, now that it's
Sometimes I
out
get
there,
emotional. If I had an
oh
eyeball,
my God. But now that it's out there, let us know what you thought about She-Hulk. Attorney at Law, episode 4. Are you feeling the show? You both, you know that we both think it's super. We are very high on
yeah,
this show.
we didn't even make the way to the end. We said it was super in
Right.
the middle.
Just we
And if
gotta
you
let
would
you
have
know.
watched episode we said it was super already. So it's like, why did it take so long to say it was super or not? Somebody asked me that. Because it's a great conversation and you want to be a part of it, you leave your comments down in the comment section and we'll comment right back at you.
There you
We're
go.
more than willing to pick up any conversation on any of the videos that we've ever done. Because I remember all of them. You said Morbius was super and it's not. I know what I said. I know what I said.
It's now on Netflix.
Take it off. Take it off of Netflix. Take it off.
I think it was the number one. It was the number one movie on Netflix when it came out.
Well, here's the thing. So a lot of people don't go to the actual movies. A lot of people are comfortable at home, and some of them have handicaps that they can't really get to theaters. Theaters not making everything kind of everybody accessible. There's some people that need the closed captions. You don't have those on theaters.
True.
Listen, it's new to some people, and they get a chance to see it, and then they can say that shit's not super at all. But I know what I said. There's some things about it that I do like. I think they could have made it more than what it was, and I guess I'm apologizing at this point. But hey, you're more than welcome to form your own opinion. I just love the fact that y'all come and spend time with us.
Absolutely.
We love spending time with y'all. That's all I'm saying. She-Hulk, but though I stand by She-Hulk, and I told you it will go happen, and it happened, and I ain't got nothing else to say about it.
But let us know what you thought about the episode. Let us know what you thought about this episode. But leave us a comment. But if you like the video, go ahead, click on like the button, and if you want to subscribe to the channel, subscribe. But don't forget to hit the bell so you can be notified when we have new episodes come out.
I always feel like I'm pointing in the wrong direction. That's why I always do this, because it's down there.
It's definitely
it
down
might not
there.
even be down there. It might be like this way, where it's normally at the bottom.
Yeah, it's normally under the video. But if you want the audio version of the podcast, you can find us on all of your major podcast streaming services. And again, if you want to join in on the conversation, you can tweet at us at ATSuperPod.
Superpod, yes. You'll catch Spider on one of them times he got time today, and y'all gonna have a whole conversation about some nonsense. But it's all good because we love y'all, and it's all good. We'll have that conversation with you.
Absolutely.
So,
but until next time, thank you for joining us, and we'll see you in the next episode.